So I picked up this pretty interesting 61 Hawk. I was speaking with a guy at the zone meet that we had at the Morgantown Auto Mall just this past week, and he said he's got a 61 4-speed Hawk for sale that used to be a drag car. I'm like, oh, you know, that's pretty interesting. I'd love to see that. And the more we talked about it, I find out that this car has had motor work done to it. It has a 4-speed in it. It has a supercharger. It's got suspension work done. I'm like, you know what? I really want to see this. I'm also looking for an engine for my build. It would be pretty cool to have a supercharged engine in my build, wouldn't it? So anyways, let's stop looking at me, look at the car, and I'll show you the best part first. How about that? We have a beautiful rebuilt supercharger. Been sitting in that Johnny Walker box for well over 20 years. When the gentleman I bought the car off of was telling me a little bit about the history, he said he bought it well over 20 years ago. The engine was running without the supercharger, so I'm thinking that has like 0 time on it. And after he purchased it, I don't know why he didn't continue driving it, but he parked it. I'm hoping I'll find out why he parked it. At the same time, I'm hoping it's just one of those things where he just parked it. Does it ever work out that way? I don't know. So, got a couple other bits and bobs. Seats, bumpers, a pair of fresh, brand new door cards. The other 2 cards for the front doors are in the box. But let's talk about this engine for a little bit. He told me that this is a 305. It's a 289 block, which we can tell by this serial number. Let's see if we can get close up on that. Is P78469, maybe 9 or 1. I'll have to get the paint scraped off of that so I can read it. But it's definitely a 289 block. He thinks it's been bored out to 305. Another gentleman who knows about the car said that this has been bored out to 320. I didn't think there was enough steel in those blocks, these blocks, to go to 320, but I could be wrong. I'm wrong about many things. But sure, that would be great, wouldn't it? It would be great if it was a 305. Heck, it'd be great if it was just a 289 built to handle that supercharger. I would be ecstatic with that. R2 clone, yes. R3 clone, even better. We'll see. But we're gonna pull this engine out. We're gonna pop the heads off, pop the valve covers off first, take a look, pictures, video. I'm gonna bring you guys along for the whole trip, decoding the whole thing. Got an external oil filter setup. Don't know if this is stock. I've never seen this before, the oil fill. Oil fill is down there. I've always just put it in the heads, but I've never seen this one. So perhaps I should look to see if this engine... Wait, do Studebakers have numbers matching engines and stuff that go along with them? Do they numbers match like that specific? I don't know. I have to figure that one out. Anyways, let's go inside. I've got the 4-speed here with the Hurst shifter. Got this auxiliary gauge set with boost pressure on the left, another pressure gauge in the middle, not sure what for, but then an oil temperature gauge on the right. I don't know if that middle gauge is an additional gauge for boost or oil or what, but it reads 0 to 10. Now, is it actually 0 to 10, or is that on a 10 scale or 100 scale? I don't know. Is it fuel pressure? Hey, it might be fuel pressure, which would mean 0 to 10 scale. Okay, anyways, moving on. Interesting trans tunnel cover. I haven't seen that before. I haven't taken apart a lot of Hawks, so please forgive me for my ignorance. But sheet metal's pretty solid. This exhaust is huge, and it is like that all the way up to the manifolds. So I can only assume that whoever built this car felt like there was a lot of horsepower that needed to be escaped somewhere. And we got true duals, 2.5 inch on either side, running out the back of this deal. You want to see something else that's pretty cool? This suspension setup. We've got coilovers in place of where the shocks would be. And it looks to me like there's a leaf missing out of these spring packs. I'm not 100% sure if that's the case or not. They just look pretty thin. So were the leaf springs made softer, and then these shocks were added to help with hooking up with the track? Perhaps. This rear axle I can only assume is a twin traction. Well, because that's what you need if you're going drag racing. Can't wait to share that with you guys. See what it says on that tag. I just don't feel like getting my finger all oily right now. I'm sure you understand. Alright, so I have a little bit of a dilemma though, because this car has history, right? I have another car in the garage back there that I would rather build. Do I build that one? Do I build this one? I'm definitely using this engine, that's for sure. But do I put it in the car that has history, or the car Studebaker should have built? See if you can decode that one. What is the car Studebaker should have built? Mind you, they did build one.